supposedly we are live. If I refresh the string, if I refresh the string manager page, yep, we are live. That is confirmed. All right, cool. We are back. I did look into why the formatting wasn't working, and it turns out with the Swift format, the wrapping wouldn't be enforced until you turn on the you set the right width that you want. If it is shorter than the default one, then it wouldn't work. Let's see, where can I find max width? It defaults to none. I see, yeah. No wrap operators, comma limited list of operators that shouldn't be wrapped. Oh, that's interesting. But anywho, let's see, what are we doing right now? Let's do a recap. So we started this project yesterday. We have roughly a working skeleton. And the nice thing about this project is that, let's see. It's roughly like set up for us to do the work that we want to do. Oh, wait. If we do that, the state is initial. How does it load the state? How come these tests are passing? Invalid, invalid, and valid. Oh, that's actually a good question. Let's try to do Swift test. Because if I'm not calling that function, then it would just be stuck in the initial state, wouldn't it? Executed 3 tests with 0 failures. Uh-huh. Wait a minute. That is a good question. Supposedly, it ran the tests. There are 3 tests that are done. Coverage is 82%. Wow, okay. How come this one is being called? Wait, oh. Yeah, this one is not getting called at all, but how are we getting load state? So how are we getting the valid state? Executable lines, yep, okay. Interesting, very interesting. I'm not even calling this. Does that mean, you know what's an easy way to tell what is happening? What happens if I say, expect true is false? Does that still pass? Hey, it still pass. That is weird. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. I think I need to look up more on how to use async spec. Let's see, Swift quick async spec. They must have a documentation. There we go. Current spec default test suite instance respond to. That's not super helpful. After having raised the issue, I got feedback suggesting the documentation is simply wrong. Instead of using round brackets, as documentation suggests, we should use curly brackets like this. We want to await, expect that to work. Oh, okay. but I'm using Swift testing. Yep. Well, I'm kind of. Is it bad if I'm mixing up Swift testing? Let's see. Swift mixing Swift testing with Quick, and it's async spec. Can it be done? Async spec, so any it blocks or lifecycle closures can use await directly. Yep. Why the split? Forcing all the specs into an async was more surprisingly helpful. Instead, you can opt in. Yep. Okay. If I'm not using Nimble. Oh, I need to describe, isn't it? Oops. Obviously, Nicholas, that's the thing you are forgetting about. Describe. What are we describing? A valid state controller, and it's here. Let's see. If we run that, I'm hoping that true wouldn't be false. Hey, true is still false. That does not make sense. The other thing is, I think even if you don't describe things, it still should run all the things. Wait, it didn't answer my question. Swift new. Is it just called testing? Yep, it is called testing. Test framework. Can it be done? Here's my sample code. I am having issue with none of my before each and it blocks are actually running. Why? I can't type, can I? You are actually trying to bolt together two completely separate test runners and DSLs, Apple's new Swift package-based testing framework. With it, not quite. Quick&Nimble, sure. I know how to use Quick&Nimble. But with testing, right? Yep, no, it did not understand the assignment. Okay, let's just have a look. Async await in quick. Yes, that's what we want. So we have a final class that's some awesome spec and any spec, and then the spec describes before each. We can do await, around each, await, and then let the result being await that, and then expect the result to be equal to the expected value. Yep. Support async await, running test code on the main thread. Oh, you just have to do the main actor. Sure. Thread safety concern. Interesting. Let's have a look into the issues. Async spec Test missing, realm does not work. Unable to access properties defined outside of various example closures. Is not deallocated. Configure. Okay, that's open. What about closed? Ba, 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 ba. Sometimes test state crashes for async spec. Not run invoke, but run individually. So it has been out for quite a while. All right. Seems like it's just me having this issue. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Apparently this is not helping. Read the doc for Quick's what you call this? Async spec and my code. And tell me why my tests aren't actually running. Yeah, I can see all these before each, after each. Wait a minute. Oh. Because it is using XCTest. And this is SwiftTest, isn't it? That's why it's not working. Probably. Let's see. If I give it my code, read the doc for Quick's async spec, and my code tell me why my tests aren't actually running. I think because I'm doing a Swift package manager, and does it not have access to XC test? It turns out nothing is wrong with async spec itself. It's your choice of assertions and test framework. Importing the new testing package, never pulling in any of Quick's own matchers, or XCTest's XCT assert functions, only knows how to execute the closures you hand it. It doesn't magically pick up the new. It should still work, right? Okay. All right, let's try this thing one more time. Do I need to describe the valid state controller? I don't think I need to describe that. That doesn't really make much of difference, but I'm also happy to keep it for now. Let's say if I don't want to use testing, and let's see if I want to use Nimble. But I thought I got this working on another project before. Yep, dot package, and then it is Nimble from that version. Let's see. What's your latest version? 13.7.1. 7.1. Yep. Give me one sec. Okay. And we want quick. We also want nimble. I hope that works. And then I can import Quick, I can import Nimble, and then say, hey, I want to expect this to work. And if I try that again, it's still not running that test, isn't it? How strange. How strange. You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna say, hey, wait a minute. Right. We had the async await right here. Yeah. I'm describing before each, after each, around each, and it can expect the result to, oh, right. How's that? I forgot, because with Nimble, it is a bit different. It is invalid, and that's why my tests, they were not working. But still, the test coverage, oh, wait. Now it does say, hey, okay. So, to summarize, don't use Swift testing, but why? What's the magic behind expect? Very interesting. Okay. I have learned my lessons. You have to use Quick and Nimble together, true and false. I do like how verbose it tells you that, hey, expect it to equal false, but we got true. Now if we run this under Swift test run with 0 test passed. 4 failures. Great! Hey, it's working. I could say await, right? Await, and then it's controller.state. I saw that somewhere. Yeah, I could do that. Natively testing actors and other async functions. So you still have to create the result. So to expect that. Okay, if that is the case, let's just keep that. Now, I don't want valid state to be described anymore. I mean, it says valid state controller when there is nothing, blah, blah, has, okay, maybe there is a little bit merit to have it. If we run that, yep, you can't build it like that. You need await. Oh, nope, not here, but here. Now it says, hey, these tests don't work. Let's say GA package dot star GS GC committing using Quick with Nimble Swift testing, if I can spell, does not work with Quick. How was I getting it to work on the other thing? I had another project. Similar structure. Let's see. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, the deck builder one. See, it is doing testing. Somehow this one works. I'm not quite sure why. I don't want to dive into it now. Maybe later. Okay. And there is a lot of reformatting going on. Use Nimble's expect and reformatted code. Oh, actually, reformat. Not reformat, but reformat and reformat. Now we can fix the code. So this is your red and green cycle. State is initial and load state. Cannot await in a function that does not support concurrency. Shoot. That's interesting. Oof. Now I need to learn how to properly write actor. Because apparently you can't do this. Apparently. Await in a function that does not support concurrency. Yep. Call to actor isolated instance method load state in a synchronous non-isolated context. My head is exploding. Exploding. Oh yeah. So for valid state controller, I have split the initial loading into its own method, load state, code as follows, not sure. But I am running into an error where I am calling the load state in the init method. And it says, okay, Swift and concurrency has really made a lot of like improvements and changes, and I'm relearning all this. I wonder, what if I just change this back to class? We had the issue where it wasn't really happy about this being a class because there would be data races. Inline the logic, yep. Exactly. If we just do that, then it'll be fine. Make initialization async. Turn your initializer into an async init, so you can await the actor isolated method. Really? No throw, just async. No async operations occur within. Oh, silly. Now because it is async, it now can shoot. Okay, just apply that. Copy that 8 times. And it is happy. No way. Okay. Let's say if I say this would be a 43, does it happen? Like, does it tell me this is run and the test just fails? Oh yeah, it does tell me. All right, so the test is running. I'm expecting this to be a valid 42. Nope, it doesn't like it. I wish. Okay, yep, got invalid. Yep. So the test works. Right. Hey, things are working, sort of, but I'm not sure whether I like the direction or not, because this is using async await now. You have to use async await to use this actor thingy. All right, all right. Let's see. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Make valid controller.init and async initializer. Thank you. Hey, why are you complaining about this being not correct? I also wanted to Swift test. Hey, finally, now everything works. Oh my god, finally. I'm so happy. But now it also means we want to revert the thingy, rather than it being that. Okay, let's get back to a previous conversation where we converted this from async to completion handler, and now we're changing back. So, yep, async throws value, sure. Just like that. So work is a function, an async function I can call, and it will give me a value. Do I care about what kind of error it throws? Kinda. Let's see. Look up Swift typed throws and whether it applies to closures. All right, let me make a tiny change of my working environment. Swift typed throws closure support. Right. Okay. One sec. Give me Xcode. Make Xcode slightly larger. All right. Swift's type throw feature introduced in Swift 6, isn't limited to top-level functions. It applies to closures too. You can specify exactly which error type a closure may throw by writing its signature with the type throws annotation. Oh yeah, that works. So I would say U throws an error. That way, if I do get into my invalid cases, okay, they have different invalid reasons. Like, this is like there's no cache or not in storage, and then this is like just invalid. Or invalidated. Or invalidated, validated, invalidated. I think that, yeah, sure, that should work. Aha! Now, expects 0 argument. Right, because... Wait a minute. Okay. With an async function, do I just return? I think so. Or even without the return, it will just be that, right? And it's... Ooh, finally. So this is 42. And this is also 42. So the work is always the same kind of work. But the storage, yeah. All right, let's make a tiny, let's say work is controller.work. Hey, that's exactly what we want. We can just say work. What do you mean sending work causes data risks? Sendable. Attribute does not apply to type. Maybe not doing this? All right, let's see. If I say work does not build for testing, doesn't it? Sending work causes data risks. Yep. But can I say let work is await work and work? Does that work? Nope. So I'm being a bit silly. I think there's the non-isolated something. Cannot be applied to variable with non-sendable type. Wait. For this work, can it be sendable? This hurts my head. All right, let's look into Apple sendable. No, not bendable iPhones, but sendable. Sendable can be value types, reference types with no mutable storage, reference types that internally manage access to their state, functions, and closures by marking them as sendable. So if you mark this as sendable, hey, that works. But the big but here is that would that impact how the client used the work? Debatable. We can debate that later. Hey, that works. Well, sort of. Let's go back to the source code. Okay. And I know ChatGPT might not be the cleverest assistant on this world, particularly when it comes to programming. But let's ask it. Give me a canvas. And we upload. I hope just copy and paste it. Exactly that. I have added code into the canvas. Thank you very much. Okay, nice. Now we can ask it, say, what would happen if I add sendable to the work type signature? Wait. Correcting the work type signature, fixing the actor isolation call in the initializer or anything. Wait a minute. Explain what you mean by without touching the code. Okay, I need to put this down somewhere. I can hear my cat. She's snoring in the background, just like a little human. I don't think you can hear it. In your code, you have written, but Swift syntax for an async throwing function type is blah, blah, blah. With throws standing alone, not throws error. Also, since you have made that, you might consider whether you really need constrain the closure to throw error. Yes, I do. Fixing the actor isolation in the initializer, you have declared and immediately call by the means load state executes as part of the actor's creation before any external task can interact with it. If you ever made load state async, I think load state is already async because it's part of the actor. You will need to write await load state and be mindful of re-entrancy. You're calling back into your own actor while it's still initializing. Sometimes it's clearer to defer loading until after initialization. Have callers explicitly call a start method or mark as non-isolated if it truly doesn't touch actor protected state or anything else. That's okay. Don't worry about any of those for now. My trusty chat GPT. My trusty and honored nerd? I mean, honored? Yeah, definitely honored ChatGPT friend. Tell me, what would happen if I add ascendable to the work type signature? And it is correct based on Swift 6. Oh, interesting. I didn't mean to give me a canvas. How, effects of adding sendable to the work closure type enforces safe captures. Let me have a drink. The closure you supply for work must now be sendable. That is, it guarantees that any captured variables are themselves sendable or immutable. The compiler will reject closures capturing non-sendable references. Like actors, unsynchronized classes, or non-sendable annotated functions, this prevents data races when the closure is executed concurrently in a task or across actor boundaries. Sure. Enables cross-actor execution. Because Sendable promises that the closure is safe to run on any thread, you can confidently spawn it in task or hand it off to another actor without worrying about isolating shared state. For example, implementing request refresh by doing exactly what I want. It is only valid if work is sendable, conforms to the concurrency model. Potential ABI stability considerations. Okay. Summary: by marking work a sendable function type, you get compile time guarantees that no non-thread safe data is inadvertently captured. The closure can be transported and executed safely across concurrency domains. Your API aligns with Swift 6 strengthened concurrency hygiene. Speaking of hygiene, that's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Anywho, this small change greatly increases safety and clarity of your asynchronous work abstraction without affecting runtime behavior beyond improved type checking. Ooh, okay, quite nice actually. All right, let's see. What change did we do? Oh yeah. All right. Let's make sure that gets in. Make work sendable. And if I say invoke format, what does it do? Does it do anything? I wonder, why does it compiles this every freaking time? Okay, nimble and quick. Okay, just add it in. Format code. Push it. Push it now. I kind of want to start writing the CI. But also, I kind of want to push forward. Let's have a look. If we give it a refresh, we are still writing it on the main branch. Yep, exactly. Don't know why you wouldn't want to write it on the main branch. Build and test a Swift package. That seems useful, right? Yep, this workflow will build a Swift project. Branches that actions check out. The only thing I want you to do is to run invoke test, right? There's the invoke test. And the other thing is macOS latest. Let's see. GitHub runner images. Yeah. And if I go to macOS latest, that one, we can find out whether this one have invoke installed. It does not. So let's say name install invoke. It will be, wait, how do I install invoke? I think it's just Python something. Pip. Aha, there we go, installation page. Pip install invoke, yep. Pip3 install invoke, and then it's just invoke test. And the other thing is we want a linked. That is also rather easy, or just be invoke, if I can type, linked. So right now it says successful, but if I change this back to that, I'm really hoping it will tell me, hey, you did something wrong there. This needs a fix. Yeah. Okay, good, very good. All right. So pip3 install invoke, linked, run test, invoke that, and let's commit the changes. Create swift.yaml workflow file. GitHub Actions workflow file. I think usually I say add. Create is a good word too. Sure. I'm really hoping this would trigger an action. And that should work. Wait. What does the Swift.yaml file say? Push on the branch main, and oh yeah, there is an action that's running, which is great. And it failed immediately. Why? Aha! To install Python packages system-wide, try brew install XYZ. Where XYZ is the package, if you wish to, that isn't user virtual environment. All right, let's try brew install then. Brew search invoke. It's called invoke. Okay. Let's poll. And let's say .github install invoke. Brew install invoke. Use brew to install invoke. I'm hoping that works. It seems to be running fine. 6.1.10, but the installed version is 5.10.0. Right. GitHub runner images Swift version. There's a thing that allows you to change a setting. Building and testing Swift. I am using a template. Aha, there we go. Strategy, wait a minute, what? And if we go back to the image, Swift. macOS latest YAML label we used. Oh, yep, that's good. But go back. I do want to find out what version of Swift you have. Using multiple version, using a single version. Aha. What? Oh, so it's use Swift action, set up Swift at this specific version. Let's have a look. What does this code do exactly? I'm getting emails about the failures. I don't want emails. I just want like a Slack message. But I don't have a Slack for this project. Decided to share this, blah, blah, blah. You can use that. Latest, I'll specify a version. Let's have a look. Only 15 stars. Swifty Lab. Wait, is it called? No, it's called Swift Actions. There we go. It is. Wait, who manages this? This thing. It's just one person. Okay. But this one has 285 stars. (6.1.2). Result to the latest patch version. Okay. I am happy with just that. Uses that. We can also give you a name. Hey. Check out. Setup. Is setup one word? Setup. Swift. Version 6.1. Wait, what did it say? Latest minor and patch version. So we could just do set up Swift to use latest version 6 with Swift version. Okay. Checking out, setting up Swift. Excuse me. Getting the Swift version. Swift version, install Invoke. Capitalizing the things. Hopefully this fixed that issue. I say checkout, actions, checkout, set up Swift to use blah, blah, blah. Yep. Use, set up Swift to set up Swift versions. There's no version yet, but I mean, potentially there might be one. Give me 1 second. If I move this over here, you can't see that one anymore, can you? Yep, you just see the Xcode and the other stuff. I just want to check out the actions, allow all actions and reusable workflows, and notifications. Where is the notifications? Can't see. Can't see. Actions, general, and runners. There are no runners configured. I think that might... Okay, give me one more second. I think I know where to find it. Settings. Emails. Yep. You can't see that. You have a single verify, blah, blah, blah. Sure. Notifications. There we go. I found notifications. Default notifications. That. Customize email updates. Actions. Only on GitHub, not through email. Only notify for failed workflows only. Yep. Okay. Now if we go back, hopefully that action has finished. Oh no, it's still running. I'm actually curious, like, how long does this take to finish? Actually pretty quick. Took literally 0 seconds. 6.1 only. Oh, right, we're using the beta, so that's why we're on 6.1.2. Anywho, let's see, what were we doing before? We were setting up the CI, and hopefully the CI is happy. I wonder, can we cache the Swift build folder? Wait a minute. Test run with 0 tests passed after 0.001 second. Why? Oh, executed 3 tests with 0 failures. That's great news. But why does it say test run started, blah, 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 blah. Not quite sure. Oh yeah, ChatGPT, answer me more questions. I am Nicholas. Using GitHub Actions to run my tests on CI with Swift Package Manager. Is there a sensible way to cache? To cache, not to cache. Cache builds. Cache build artifacts to speed up the builds on CI. I'm hoping it is smart enough to know if it knows or not. If it doesn't know, then it should let me know that it does not know, so I can tell it to look it up. When you're running that, the single biggest win is caching your build artifacts and dependency checkouts between runs. Here's a typical pattern. There is .swiftpm folder. It does say matrix.swift version. If Swift version is defined in the, what you call it, setup Swift step, can we access the Swift version from the matrix? I'm not sure. Excuse me. Been talking a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. That makes more sense. Okay. Let's do one more change. Okay. So it runs on that. Swift version is 6. Okay. Now we have done the setup. Actually, restore SPM cache, cache array 3, path is those, and it's exactly that. And let's do the save SPM cache. The only thing we need to change is the key. Oh, wrong thing, wrong key. Save SPM cache, it's always, and it uses the thing with that path and the key. Yep, looks exactly the same. I think so. It's just that change. Add caching, or as Australians like to say, caching, to the GitHub Actions workflow. Flipple. I'm hoping to see it works. So previously it took like 3 minutes. Okay, that didn't work. Line 24, a sequence was not expected. I know ChatGPT lied. GitHub Actions cache. Yeah, it's just pass. And it's a v4 now. Hmm. I don't think I want anything else. Oh, it wasn't expecting a sequence. I see. If I copy all that, go to the bottom, paste it. Path is that. Key. Ooh, wait a minute. You said restore keys. Okay, can just be a key then. I don't think you need the specific save SPM cache command. Hmm. I think that's the only thing we need to do. Cache, SPM cache. Package. If I can type. Manager thingies. Should we call it thingies? Cache SPM manager. Alright, I'm just gonna call it thingies. Cache Swift package manager thingies. Oh, actually, it's Kane. We are amending the commit. So it's commit amend, and we're not editing the title. And then we're doing a force push. Yep, it's push force with leash. And now let's watch. That seems to work. This one would say, hey, cache not found for this specific thingy. Oh, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah, the thing is, the version is not 6, literally 6. It's like 6.1. Imagine if this goes up to 6.2. I'll still finding the same cache, but then the cache doesn't work. Maybe. Maybe it still works. But that's a problem for future, Nicholas. Swift version is 6. Toolchains is Swift 6.1. I have an idea. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea, but I'm gonna try. I mean, what is the fun in life if you don't try things out? EMV. It does have tool chains. So rather than the Swift version, we could just say tool chains. And we only need this to appear at one place. So we just change that to that. Oh yeah, I see. We took the whole thing out of over there, put it down here. We move things around. Sure. Sure. And this one is still building, because we didn't cache. And now it is caching, which is good. Okay. Actually, this is Swift toolchains version for cache key. I'm hoping it can find that toolchains environment variable. If it can, it'll be epic. So good. And I also realized I've been talking nonstop for almost an hour and 13 minutes. Probably should take a break. Okie dokie, I am gonna take a break. Let's see, do I have a text for that? I don't have a text for that. Interesting, but I could do that. And let's see if I unmute myself so I can hear myself. And I mute the microphone output in the OBS, so I'll be quiet. Yep, that works, and I'll be right back. Hello, I am back. And now I can hear myself. Let me turn off that. And let me try to figure out one more thing. Give me a second. Yep, now it's pitch black because I need to find that particular browser window. Otherwise, I can't really turn off that extra audio that I'm hearing right now. Oh, hey, it's right here. All right, that one is off, and I think I can turn back the screen. Yay! This one still took 3 minutes and 22 seconds. I want to do a rerun. I thought you'd be able to rerun this from the outside. Rerun the jobs, yep. It's exactly the same code, but this time, supposedly, we would have... Oh, right, I forgot to check. What did the cache key say? Did it pick up the environment variable called toolchains? Yes, it did. I think it did. Cool. This time, I think it would say it will find the key or the cache for the key. Let's watch. While it is doing that, no, I don't want OBS. I just want Xcode. This thing's running a little bit slowly. That's okay. All right, I found my my mouse. What else do we want to do today? Today we sort a few things. We sort out why these tests, they were not running. We have made our valid state controller a complete actor. It has an async initialization method. We are not using the work yet. I think what we could do is we could do that. And that'll be value, and this one would say update value, value. Store the value. Right? So it says, I think there we should try to do something. Try to fetch. If we already know it's gonna be invalid, we should request a refresh here and here. So this one says invalid and then just leaves that. It requests a refresh. It doesn't go through to here. But if it does have a stored value, but the value is not valid, it will still request a refresh. That makes sense. One more thing I want to change. I would like to train myself to speak softer because I've been speaking really loud for a while, and that sort of hurts my throat. Telling me. Let's see. Is it really taking that long time to setting up Swift? Sometimes, yeah, I know. GitHub lies to you. It did get that. Cache hit. Even if there is a space, it works. Interesting. That's 715 megabytes. And then the tests run really fast. So as long as if we don't change our package file or the toolchain version, this should always work. Cool. Awesome. I love it. Can I get a badge thingy? GitHub runner badge? I remember there used to be a thing, GitHub Action status. So click into, wait, what? Using the UI, you can create a workflow status directly on the UI using the workflow name, file name, branch parameter, and event parameter. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Actions, Swift, and the ... Create a status badge. Aha, I see. Swift. That's the name of the thing. But we can copy that and we can wait a minute. Attempt number 1 took 3 minutes. Attempt number 2 took 2 minutes and 25 minutes. I thought we have reduced the time that it took to build the whole thing. I see. Setting up Swift to use, that took about a minute. Test linked took about a minute-ish. I'm okay with that, but this is such a small project. It takes 3 minutes to finish? Wow, that's a lot. All right, anywho, let's see. Let's add that into our README. Add status badge. Oh, actually. There we go. Add status. If I can type badge for our workflow. And if we go, hey, it says Swift passing. That's good. I like it. But here's the thing. What should we do next? I also want to know that with the change, right? Supposedly this should still work. because we didn't change anything else. The test still pass. And we can remove the to-do. We just need to fill out the request refresh. We do want to say, checks if the value is valid. Well, update the state if the value is valid, based on whether the state, the value, is valid. One more thing. If the state is not valid, it will request a refresh. Move part of load state into update value because it makes sense. Ah, right. It's not like that. Oh, right. For the function bodies, I think that's the SwiftLint error. And the other thing is static. Prefer static over a class in a final class. Let's see. Both on the line 14th. Let's see, SwiftLint config file. Included, excluded, analyzer rules, obtain rules, disable rules, and then it's configurations. Yep. Function body length. Does it still trigger the same thing? It does not. I picked up the configuration. Perfect. Prefer static over class in a final class. I see. Static over final class. That's the rule. We just need to disable it. I am curious why it didn't trigger an error when we were running the actions. Because supposedly, well, it should. Ah, I see. It found 4 violations, but nothing serious. I see. I'm not running it in the strict mode, I think. Yeah, there's strict mode. All right, let's see. Personally, I prefer there's no errors at all, so I can check it. Swift lint -- strict. I'm trying to find out. Oh yeah, it's just Swift lint -- fix. I'm gonna guess it's part of that. Would we be able to say fix -- lint or -- strict? Oh no, it went for everything. Oh, right. Let's see. That sort of worked. I want to say invoke and format. What changed? Aha, I see. Make Swift lint strict. All right. What do we do next? I kind of want to take a break from here now because my voice is cracking, which is not good. And we have done plenty of work today. Well, we sort of figured out, let's do a recap. We figured out why these tests were not running. We figured out how we can make all these things be formatted nicely by SwiftFormat by specifying the max width is only 80. And we also figured out that if we want to call load state, this init has to be async because that method, that instance method load state is actor isolated, and you cannot call that in a synchronous, non-isolated context. Basically means this one is async. I don't know why, but I don't like this particular message. Let's see, if I copy that, and if I feed it to ChatGPT, the error message is very like machine-like. It's not like orientated towards someone who's human. See? ChatGPT can explain it. The compiler is warning you that load state is an actor-isolated method. It can only be called from inside the actor's own execution context, and it's implicitly asynchronous. But you are directly invoking it from your initializer, which is a synchronous, non-isolated context. Even this explanation is hard to read. So basically it's saying actor isolation means that every instance method on an actor is logically owned by that actor and may suspend to ensure mutual exclusion. Your init is not running under that isolation context, and you haven't marked it async. Basically it's that. So you can't directly call an actor method there. The compiler is effectively saying, hey, you're trying to call an async/actor protected method load state from a plain old synchronous initializer. That won't work. This would be perfect for Xcode. And it's very easy to understand why the error message from Xcode is that hard to understand. Would that fix it? Oh, it does. But I mean, it's the same thing as async. That is so cool. But I think it should be async, because we're trying to load the state, we're trying to fetch the state, etc., etc. Everything would be asynchronous. That's why we got rid of the completion handler style work type. Right now it's async await sort of style work type. It's more forward-thinking, more future-proofing, less compatible with lexicode, which if they are not using async await. I think that's one thing. We made our test work, we made this work, we extracted the update value. And there's a few more things to do, quite a few more things. We also added our CI support. So now we can actually just look at our GitHub page and see the tests are passing. That makes me really happy. Okay, I think that is it. That is it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Have a good one. Bye.